Hello students, welcome to yet another session of Political Science. We were discussing the chapter India's External Relations in our previous video. Let us continue our discussion with the topic Kargil confrontation. As you all know, India and Pakistan since the partition or since becoming independent nations had strained relations, a history of violent or hostile relationship with each other. So this series added one more issue, one more confrontation known in the name of Kargil confrontation, which took place in the year 1999 when Mr. Atal Bihari Vajpayee was the Prime Minister of our country, while Pakistan was being ruled by General Pervez Musharraf. So let us understand what was the whole issue. See students, what happened that at at several points of the Indian side of the LOC, that is the line of control, especially in the area of Mashko, Dras, Kaksar, Batalik hills, these areas were being occupied by forces who called themselves the Mujahideens. And because of their suspecting movement and the movement of Pakistani army, Indian forces they started reacting to this occupation of these areas. And by this reaction, the entire situation was a situation of confrontation between the two countries, and this confrontation only is known as the Kargil conflict. So this conflict started during the month of May-June in 1999, and by 26th of July, India had recovered the control of many lost points or checkposts which were under the which had gone under the control of the Pakistani troops. The Kargil conflict drew attention of the worldwide political community, and only 1 year prior to this incident, both India as well as Pakistan one by one had attained their nuclear capacity, or both had become nuclear powers. So this conflict had been a source of major controversy, as it was alleged later by the Prime Minister of Pakistan, the Chief of Army, General Pervez Musharraf, and soon after the conflict, three. So in this whole scenario, what happened? Pakistan came up with an excuse that the Pakistani Prime Minister was kept in dark, and the whole initiative was taken by the army chief, which was not an acceptable excuse anyways. Our next topic of discussion is India's nuclear policy. See children, since Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru became our Prime Minister, he had always dreamed of a developed, scientifically progressed India, and he was in favor of scientific development in all the fields. He always supported science and technology because he believed that a true and modern nation, a modern India can come into being if it takes, if it keeps faith in science and technology, then only we can shape up a better future for our citizens. So he always believed in promoting industrialization, and a nuclear program was initiated in the eras of 1940s under the guidance of Homi J. Bhabha or Homi Jahangir Bhabha. So he wanted India to generate atomic energy for peaceful purposes. Though he was against nuclear weapons, he was a supporter of NAM. Why? because this was an era when countries like USA, USSR, UK, France, and China. At that time, Taiwan represented China at that time, and these were the five permanent members of the UN Security Council also, and they all had attained the status of nuclear powers. But they launched a policy called Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty and were emphasizing the third world countries to sign this nuclear non-proliferation treaty. As you all know, nuclear means atomic energy, non-proliferation means not to spread it. In the year 1968. Now, India always believed that this was a very dominating and biased policy. It was a discriminatory policy. Why? Because these countries had already attained the stature of nuclear powers, and they were trying to control other countries from developing their atomic energies, uh, even if it was for peaceful purposes. So India was never in the favor of signing this treaty. Then came in the later phase, came in the year 1995. India also refused to sign the Comprehensive Test Ban Treaty, that is known as CTB. Why? Here India took again the powerful dais of NAM, and India from the very beginning had claimed that it was not interested in the first use of nuclear powers. Whatever technological know-how India was going for, whatever atomic research India was going for, was for peaceful purposes. So India wanted to definitely attain nuclear power, but not for destruction, not for waging a war. But this was a very difficult era. Why? Because this time was being followed by Arab-Israel war in 1973, when the oil prices were hiking up, and because of this economic turmoil in India resulted in high inflation. Inflation means rise in the prices of commodities. So it was a very difficult time, and India was facing the nationwide railway strike also. So, although there were minor differences among political parties about how to conduct external relations, Indian politics is generally marked. Although there were minor differences among political parties about how to conduct external relations, Indian politics is generally marked by a broad agreement among the parties on national integration. So these were certain difficulties at that time. Now moving to another topic of this chapter before we end the chapter is that shifting alliances in world politics. See students, this was the era when the Janata Party government had come into power in the year 1977. And this Janata Party government genuinely believed in following the non-alignment policy. Why? Because it was one of the most relevant policies. Why? Because Pakistan and China were forming one group, and India had to improve on many grounds. So India decided to go for maintaining better relations with China, though there had been many conflicts since the eras of 1962 till 1971-72. There India had to undergo or suffer three wars, but still India believed in improving relations with China. Then India was at the meanwhile trying to maintain close ties with USA, or you can call it pro-USA. Pro means supportive to US strategies. Why? Because at this time Russia had lost its reputation, Though it was a very good friend of our country, but still because of the disintegration or internal turmoil ongoing in USSR, Russia was not that prominent in world politics at that time. So India thought that though it was the second largest democracy, so it should maintain close ties with USA. It was a time when, because of the nuclear mm, tests, both India and Pakistan had been banned in world politics, but then everything was finally being sorted out, and whatever bans were being imposed, they were waived off also. So many changes were going when we talk about national level politics, or when we talk about international level politics also. Still, India and Pakistan had to deal out with many things. Efforts at negotiating durable peace had started from that time, and since date, it has been going on between India and Pakistan. Though it was Pakistan was being supported by China, though it was being supported by USA, there were many issues between both the countries, but India truly and genuinely stated in a very influential manner that it is something between India and its neighbor Pakistan, and India would not like the intervention either by China, either by USA, or either by the UN. So, this much for today's class. Stay safe.